I used to love diving. The way the water embraced me, the silence except for my own breath. Down there, it felt like I had escaped the world entirely. But after what happened last year, I can't even stand the sight of deep water, because I know if I go back down, it will be waiting for me. Mark and I had been diving together for years. He was the reckless one, the guy who always pushed limits. I was the cautious one. We balanced each other out. That day, Mark had heard about an unmapped cave system off the coast, known only to a handful of locals. He said it was risky, tight spaces, unpredictable currents, but nothing we couldn't handle. The locals warned us against it. They didn't just call it dangerous, they called it cursed. Mark scoffed. Superstitions. People just get lost and then stories get made up. I wasn't so sure, but Mark was relentless, and against my better judgment, I agreed. The descent was smooth at first. We followed a ridge along the ocean floor, past swaying kelp, until we found the entrance. A jagged black maw, just wide enough to slip through. Something about it felt wrong. The water around the entrance was still, too still, like the ocean itself didn't want anything to disturb it. Mark signaled for me to follow. Then he disappeared inside. I hesitated. A deep, primal part of me screamed, "Don't go in there." But I followed anyway. Inside, the cave was tighter than I liked. The walls pressed in, smooth limestone worn away by centuries of water. I kept one hand on my guideline, the thin nylon rope that would lead us back. Losing that meant losing everything. About 30 minutes in, we surfaced in a pocket of air, a strange little chamber, the ceiling just high enough to lift our heads above water. That's when I saw the walls. They were covered in deep gouges, as if someone had clawed at them over and over. Mark made a joke. Maybe someone got stuck here and started counting the days. I didn't laugh. The air smelled wrong, stagnant, metallic, like blood. I checked my dive watch. We had been down longer than I realized. I signaled to Mark. We should go. He shook his head. He was fixated on a passage at the bottom of the chamber, a narrow throat of rock leading even deeper. Without hesitation, he slipped inside. I hesitated. Every instinct told me not to follow. But I couldn't leave him, so I went in after him. The tunnel was too tight. My tank scraped against the rock. Every kick of my fins stirred up silt, making the water murky. Then my light flickered. My breath hitched. I tapped it, shook it. Nothing. I reached for my backup. Before I could turn it on, I felt something move. Not Mark, something else. A shift in the water, a presence. I turned on my backup light. Mark was gone. The tunnel stretched ahead of me, empty darkness. No bubbles, no sign of movement. He had been right in front of me. He couldn't have just vanished. I turned, ready to retreat, when my light caught something behind me. A handprint, not Mark's. It was embedded in the rock. Too deep, too defined. Human shaped but elongated, the fingers stretched unnaturally long. Then I saw the others, hundreds of them, covering the walls, like something had tried to claw its way out. The water shifted again. My body screamed, "Go!" I twisted back the way I came, my breath too fast, too shallow. Panic. I forced myself to slow down. My tank got stuck. I thrashed, dislodging it, and then a whisper. Not in my head, in the water, right behind me. I didn't look. I would not look. I burst out of the tunnel, back into the chamber. No Mark. The passage I had just come from, it was gone. Solid rock, like it had never existed. A hand broke the surface of the water. Mark. I almost sobbed with relief until I saw his face. His mask was gone. His eyes were wide, unblinking, unseeing. His lips moved soundlessly, his body floating unnaturally still. I grabbed him, shaking him. His lips trembled, and then in a voice that was not his, he whispered, "You brought it back with you." I don't remember getting out of the cave. I don't remember how I got to the surface. Mark was breathing, barely. The medic said it was oxygen toxicity, that he had suffered a seizure, lost consciousness. But that doesn't explain what I saw. It doesn't explain why, even now, Mark doesn't speak. He just stares at walls, tracing invisible tally marks with his fingers. But it didn't end there. It followed me. The first time I heard it was in my bedroom, the night after the dive. I woke up gasping, convinced I was drowning. My sheets were soaking wet. And then I heard it, a whisper, coming from the walls. At first I thought it was my imagination. Trauma maybe, but it kept happening. At night my room is too quiet, like the ocean before a storm. And when I close my eyes, I feel it. Something moving, watching. I started seeing wet footprints in my apartment, faint, disappearing too quickly. And the worst part? My reflection isn't right anymore. It lags. When I look away from a mirror, I see myself still staring back. A week after the dive, I woke up gasping for air. My bed was soaked. The smell of salt water thickened my nostrils. I turned on the light. My bedroom walls were covered in tally marks, hundreds of them, gouged into the drywall. I haven't slept since. Mark is still catatonic, and I know it won't stop, because last night I heard something new. Not a whisper, a breath, right next to my ear. The water is calling me back. I will never answer, but I don't think I have a choice, because this morning I woke up with seaweed in my mouth.